Do you suffer with anxiety or get overwhelming thoughts that basically send your brain and body into overdrive? If this is you, then this video is really going to help. I'm going to show you a technique called EFT. That's emotional freedom tapping. Now, there's a lot of research being done around EFT and how it works, but a lot of medical practices are now recommending it to their patients. So it helps with emotional anxiety. EFT works by tapping on the meridian points, so the points that are used in acupuncture, and talking to yourself. Now, I guarantee when you first start doing this, it's going to feel a little bit silly, but stick with it. The results are definitely worth it. So by tapping on the acupuncture meridian points, along with focusing on the problem, EFT gives us a way to send calming brain signals to the brain and remove those energy blocks that are causing us pain and discomfort. So let me take you through the points. Now, the first point that we use is the karate chop. Now, it's just on the fleshy part of the side of your hand near to your little finger. So we use this to state the problem and acknowledge that we accept ourselves with that problem. Now, I'll give you an example of what I mean in a moment, but if you really can't bring yourself to say the problem out loud, then you can just say something like, I am okay. Okay? So just get started and you'll see in time it will become much easier. So we tap on this point to say the setup statement, and we say these things 3 times, and then we move through the rest of the points. The eyebrow here is just where the sweep of your nose meets the edge of your eyebrow. Side of the eye, which is along the eye socket. You can do this on left or right or both. Under the eye, we're staying on the bony part, under the nose. And the chin is the point between the crease between your bottom lip and your chin. And the collarbone. Now, you can use that with a flat hand as well, whatever suits you. Then we move to the under the arm. For the ladies, this is about where your bra sits. For the gentlemen, it's about 5 inches below your armpit. And finally, the top of your head. So when you put it all together, you say, for example, I've got an exam coming up and experiencing some anxiety. I would ask myself, what is it about the exam that I'm frightened of? So I externalise it. So it's an opportunity for me to be really honest with myself so that I can get to the real issue. And in this situation, it might be because I'm afraid of failing the exam. And it's the fear of failure that I would use as the basis of the words I say. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I check how intensely I feel this feeling of failure, of fearing to fail before I start, and I write it down or I make a mental note of it. 0 being I'm not scared at all, and 10 being I'm very scared of failing. So I'm going to do a round now so that you can see how the words and the tapping come together. Start by tapping on the karate chop and saying something like, even though I'm scared that I'm going to fail this exam, I completely accept myself. And we say that 3 times. Even though I'm scared that I'm going to fail this exam, I completely accept myself. And again, even though I'm scared that I'm going to fail this exam, I completely accept myself. And then we move to the other points. So on the eyebrow, I'm scared to fail. Side of the eye, I'm going to fail. And then I won't get the grades that I need. I'm scared that I'm going to fail. I don't want to fail. If I don't pass, I'll be a failure. I really do not want to fail this exam. I have anxiety about failing this exam. I'm scared I'm going to fail. Now, you might need to do a few rounds of whatever it is you're addressing, and then it's worth checking how intense those feelings are now after you've done that. And it allows you to see how much more tapping you need to do to shift that issue that you're working on. I find 2 or 3 rounds can usually make a really big difference to the scale, the intensity scale. Now, you don't need to worry about the words that you're saying. Just use the words that feel right for you and your situation. There's no right or wrong. They're your words. And your words are more powerful because you tend to listen to yourself more. So you can repeat the same phrase over and over again instead of changing the words if you want. The words are just a way to channel your feelings so that your own words about the issue are actually the best ones to use. Now, imagine that you're just talking to your best friend or a person you can completely be yourself with, and then just tap. And if you can't